First Niagara Financial Group could become one of the country's top 25 lenders if a deal to buy New Alliance Bank goes through. The Buffalo, New York-based bank would have 10 times the assets it did in 2000, but since the bank announced a planned deal in August, its stock has fallen sharply, about 10% or so. Joining us now to talk about that and the state of regional banks' future is the CEO of First Niagara, John Koelmel. Thank you for coming in and speaking with us.
Thank you, Margaret. Appreciate the opportunity.
What we just described with this latest acquisition brings you to having really tripled your size in just over a year. What's driving this aggressiveness? This isn't your only acquisition.
Correct. It's the third of three. In September of a year ago, we closed on 57 branches in Pittsburgh, Western Pennsylvania, that were spun off from the PNC Nat City transaction. And a few months after that, we completed a transaction in suburban Philadelphia. So this is 3 of 3 in terms of trying to further stretch our franchise and frame the footprint that we've targeted in the Northeast, where we think we'll have some great long-term opportunities.
So what's making you so aggressive right now, though?
Well, we anticipated going back 3 years or so that we'd have opportunities, and we've been able to maintain a position of strength and enabled us to play offense. And it's been a bit opportunistic in terms of being able to execute the strategy, as I said, that we put in place to establish a Northeast regional franchise as opposed to just upstate New York, which is the historic precedence, and now gets us across Pennsylvania and up into New England, where we really think we can make some significant headway in the years ahead.
Well, let me ask you about New England, because with New Alliance Bank shares, we know that that gets you into Connecticut, and the AG there, Richard Blumenthal, wants to look into this acquisition because he's concerned about jobs, he's concerned about branch closings. Is there a chance that this could get held up by him, this deal?
It's the end of September. It's a hot political season. It's a politician trying to seize the moment and grab some attention.
So you don't consider that a threat to the acquisition going through? You don't think it'll get held up?
We're very confident and comfortable with what we do and how we do it, and confident we'll be very responsive to the Attorney General's concerns.
Now, we described your firm as now being among the nation's top 25 lenders once this deal goes through. Take a look around the country here for me and give me a sense of what you're hearing, because the buzz had been that Washington might be looking at orchestrating a streamlined refinancing plan out there for troubled homeowners with securitized mortgages. Is that something you're expecting?
I'll be a bit surprised. There's no question the political agenda is driving a lot of the discussion right now, given the fact the economy just doesn't have any legs. I heard one of your earlier segments, slow and steady was the theme for the economy. I'll definitely agree with slow. Frankly, we've yet to see steady. At best, it's been steady along the bottom. So there's no question, political season, the realities of trying to get the economy motivated, a lot's being thrown against the wall. How much really sticks, I think we'll take some time.
So you see the need for it, but the possibility of it is what you're questioning? I'm
not sure the government further stepping in and further promoting is really necessary. That direct involvement, that direct kind of stimulus, I'd rather see the government better enable the free market system, free enterprise, private business, small business to really be able to do what it historically does very well.
Well, the FDIC report that came out this week says that the number of banks still at risk to fail is at 11%. That's the highest level since 1992.
Correct.
So when you look at some of those troubled institutions, are there still acquisition opportunities out there for you?
For the industry, no question. Just read a report the other day that I think of that number, literally 1 or 2% is in the Northeast. The bulk of it sits in the Midwest and the Southeast. So for us, First Niagara, there's less of an opportunity realistically, but for the industry in total and as a whole, there's no question there's more consolidation to come, and you're seeing signs of that every week as 2, 3, 4, 5 more institutions are closed and shuttered, and I'm sure that will continue for a period of time. The regulators are taking a very stringent approach and wanting to ensure this situation doesn't get away from us again as it did 2, 3 years ago.
So Dick Beauvais, very well-known analyst, says new Basel regulations will come out in a few months that may encourage even more M&A in terms of new capital requirements. Do you agree that that'll be a catalyst, or you think you've already been happy enough to pull the trigger. The environment's ripe at the moment.
I think for those of us that deal from and operate in a position of strength, the opportunities are there, but frankly, it's just a real short list. The flip side is we've all been waiting for some better definition and clarity as to what the new regulations will be. Capital was frankly the most significant shoe to fall. We'll all work our way through some of the Dodd-Frank regulations, but capital's been a big question mark for all of us.
All right. Thank you for coming in and telling your story.
Thank you very much.